this section, we'll be exploring positive psychology in the context of resilience. I'm going to share 3 strategies that I think can be really useful if you're going through something difficult, so that you can continue to meet it with a sense of strength and see it as an opportunity to grow. The first one is heavily connected to a quote that you might be familiar with. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. And in our response lies our growth, our freedom, and our happiness. Perhaps you've heard this before. And given your experience with mindfulness, chances are you've had some familiarity with learning to see that space between stimulus and response, and then start to inhabit that space. This itself is a superpower because it's only in that space that you can lead your life with any sort of intentionality, purpose, or in alignment with the person you want to be. And in the context of cultivating resilience, it's really important to see how we're responding to the difficult events that occur in our life, how we're thinking in response to them, and how we're acting or emoting in response to them. But there's something that we can add to that quote that I think is really helpful, and it's a concept that comes from positive psychology and cognitive behavioral therapy. It's called the ABC model, and this is an acronym. It stands for activating event, belief, consequence. Activating event, belief, consequence. So this has a lot of similarity to between stimulus and response. There's a space. The activating event is anything that could happen in your life. A situation, something difficult, something that might require resilience. This is the stimulus. The consequence is the response, how you react to the situation, what happens after the situation occurs. But where this is unique and where it adds something to that initial quote of between stimulus and response, there's a space, is that the ABC model says there's something in between there, and that's the B. B stands for belief. And in any given situation, we have a belief about what this means about what will happen in the future, what this means about the world at large, what this means about ourselves and what's going to happen. And in the ABC model, there's a recognition that, we can't always change the activating events. Being human means difficult things are going to happen. And we can't change the consequence without first changing the belief.